good day for all of you all. I'm Thilina Wijetunga, General Manager of National Water Supply and Drainage Board. Water is the fundamental ingredient for life. The scientists look for life beyond Earth, and when they look for life, they look for water. Where there's water, there's life. So it's intricate and interconnected two components, life and water. All civilization thrived around water sources. Not even in Sri Lanka, even all over the world for years, so many years, the civilization was concentrated on water. So water is the key factor determining civilization and life. 65% of the body weight or your body weight accounts for water. And how much you need to drink, how much water you have to take is a questionable thing. If you take too much, it's not so good. If you take too little. So there's a balance, and not only the quantity, the quality matters. So water is a very mysterious thing. They say that water has a memory. It can record its crystals. The water crystals can record the energies within human beings. So water, there are certain insoluble items in water that still we cannot identify. So water that way is a very unique ingredient. We as the water board is responsible for the potable, that is pipe-borne water supply right across the country. We have around 10,000 employees, the scientists, engineers, professionals, all gamut of professionals working to give you good quality, adequate water supply. And we handle two issues, quantity and the quality. The quantity of water depends on how much of water you can abstract from reservoirs, rivers, streams, groundwater, all these surface water, that sources that you can find around. The quality depends on the environment pollution, catchment degradation, and how much of pollutant that gets washed into the water sources. So this is where we have now balancing how to give you the quality water at the right quantity to you. Ironically, 3%, only 3% of the water you find in the entire world, Earth, is fresh water. 97% is salt water. Out of this 3%, only 1% is liquid water. Others you find in glaciers and different in other forms. So we are talking of managing this 1% of water, fresh water you find in the earth. So this is a very challenging task. You can see how scarce the water source is when you see the situation that we are facing in Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka has its own unique situation. We get 2000 millimeters of rainfall, but still you might have seen there are water source shortages, some droughts, some people complain about not having ample water. That is because the typical situation attributed to Sri Lanka. There is a geographical situation. We have a hill country. The water gets washed off the sea very fast. Other aspect is uneven annual rainfall. One period it rains, one period is drought. And this is getting aggravated by global warming and carbon emission, and this situation is getting worse and worse. So the problem here in Sri Lanka is not the quantity of water. How we manage the water is the most important thing. To manage the water quantity, if you take an example, 50% of the water that falls on our island gets washed off to sea directly. The 50% we are managing, 50 to 40% only we are managing within, we retain that water. So this water that we retain, we have reservoirs or rivers and all that. We have to improve this capacity, and this what we retain is getting polluted now. All the catchments are getting wasted. We have to protect these catchments. Deforestation and all hazardous material getting mixed up with the rivers, and all solid waste being dumped. All these things are contributing towards pollution of fresh water sources. This is, you can see this ever increasing, rapidly increasing over the last 30 to 40 years. And then the fertilizer issue. Much spoken fertilizer issue. We, as you all know, we use excessive fertilizer for agriculture. So this also contributes to the water pollution. So that is why the government is promoting organic farming, organic fertilizer, because this is totally intricated, very closely intricated issue. The more fertilizer you use, the worse the quality of water we are, then we have to spend a lot of money to treat this water. And if you take the users, 70% of the water, surface water, is used for agriculture, and 20% of the water is for industries. Only 10% we use for drinking water. So with this scenario, we, Water Board as a national organization, we give 50% of the people gets pipe-borne water. They are covered with that. We have around 2.4 million connections, and we, on top of that, we are providing water to industries, industrial zones, BOI zones, Sri Lanka Port Authority, all the airports, hotels, all the industries, they get our water. The quality of water in Sri Lanka is supposed to be very high quality. We maintain Sri Lankan standards, and we comply with the Sri Lankan standards. We have our quality measuring laboratories, quality monitoring laboratories and systems across the island, and we monitor the water quality at the raw water sources, as well as the water that we give you all. We monitor it very regularly, consistently, to ensure your health is well looked after. We have, as the Water Board, now wants to give water for all human beings in Sri Lanka under the vistas of prosperity. We have already promoted and launched this program for water for all. So under this program, we are planning, we have launched a massive program to provide water, pure drinking water, safe access to pure drinking water for all. That is our ambition, and that is our vision, and we are really, as the Water Board, is working towards giving you. Because with giving you good water is not just drinking water. It has huge economic spin-offs. All the health, your health, living standard, your welfare, all that will be enhanced and strengthened with by giving you the best quality water. And then once you have good water, the industries will bloom, the commercial activities will bloom, tourism will bloom, and that will bring huge economic benefits to the country. Land prices will go up, the real estates will be gets a benefit out of this thing, of the giving the pure water. So we are giving a huge contribution to the economy of this country. Our organization is that way, is a very strong organization committed to providing pure drinking water to all. Then the other issue, you might have heard about the chronic kidney disease. The chronic kidney disease, where people are in certain areas, especially in north central and northern area, northwestern area of the provinces, people are suffering chronic kidney disease. They are aware of this cause for this disease is unknown. This is attributed to certain ingredients, certain dissolved metals or dissolved solids in the water which will harm your kidney. So we have now established a state-of-the-art kidney research institute in Peradeniya to search what is the best treatment process. Usually we treat water with a conventional treatment process. We get the raw water, we go through a conventional there, we first put the sediments with what you call coagulation, sedimentation, and then we filter the water, we add alum as a coagulant to put all the suspended solid, and we remove it with the filtration. Then there was the dissolved solid. If the dissolved solid, we have other types of treatment, membrane treatment. We have activated carbon filters to bring. We polish the water and give you a high quality water, and we add chlorine at the end. So this is the process which we use. Recently, in Jaffna, we have launched a desalination plant, and that desalination plant, the first ever desalination plant in Sri Lanka. So, as the students of Lyceum, I invited you all. If you want, I can organize a field trip for all to see our plants, the state-of-the-art plant in Abatale and Labugaba Kalatua, very beautiful area where it was built in the British time 150 years ago, and then you can even visit and see the desalination plants. So I hope that you all have absorbed something out of this speech. Whatever you want, we are willing to, water board is willing to help you all through education, because you are the students who will take up this challenge to provide water for all and enhance the quality of life and safety of people of Sri Lanka. Thank you very much. Thanks.